This is the fundament. What's up guys, in this video I will show you a couple of mobility drills that I usually perform before my squatting session to improve my form and the overall feeling of the movement. We want to focus on certain areas that may cause resistance throughout the movement, then we want to release them or activate some parts. These drills will not only increase the range of motion in, for example, hips and ankle joints, but also these drills will make your movement throughout the squat more smooth and free. Okay, so let's get to the first exercise, which is in my opinion the best one, because if you don't have enough time to perform other drills or any other activating movements, this is probably the best one because it activates and stretches all of the parts of the kinetic chain that are working throughout the squat. So we're working here on the mobility of the hip. Also, by leaning forward we can increase the range of motion in our ankle joints. We're stretching here the glutes, we're stretching here the calves, the quads. Also, we are opening the chest, which is a very common problem in the squat. If you have tight chest, tight shoulders, that is why we can lean here forward. We can open here our chest, our shoulders. We can work here with the external rotation, which is also very important in the squat. Try to shift the knee that is in front as much forward as you can, so you can feel the stretch in your ankle, and the back leg, which is straight, should be as straight as is possible. And if you got the feet on the ground like this, try to shift it like this. So here, if you've got calf, push it so your leg, which is straight here, will be stretched. You will feel the stretching in your calf, and also by shifting this ankle inside like this, by this rotation, you will also stretch your ankle, which is in the back. So straightly moving to the next exercise, which is in the bottom position, just shove your knees outside by moving your straight arms, which are external rotated like this, so the thumb is pointing to the outside. And here try to not roll inside your pelvis, so have a straight back, open chest, and also shift the weight sometimes from one leg to another, so you can feel this maybe imbalance in the unstretched areas. This exercise may be known for you if your stance is wide during squats or deadlifts. If you are, for example, deadlifting in sumo style, here we are opening mostly our hips, because in this movement we want our butt to go straightly down, so we're trying to put our butt on the ground. I know that you are not able to do this because this is not the purpose. We just want it to go down. We're opening our shoulder and pushing the ground, so the movement is back, not forward but back, inside the hips. So here's another hip opener, and also we are stretching here our glute. The simple trick here is try to have this 90-degree angle between the femur and tibia bones, and then you're trying to generate two opposite torques. So you're bringing one leg near the ankle like this, and you're pushing your knee like this. So you're opening your hip and also stretching the glute, which is a very good movement, mostly at the beginning, because it is not a very demanding stretch. Okay, so as you can see on my face here on this video, this is a pretty demanding stretch. Actually, for me it is a very demanding and challenging stretch. Here we are focusing on our front part of the body, on the hip flexors, on the quads, on our chest, on our abs, so the whole front part of our body is stretched here. Try to lay your back on the ground. Maybe you have seen some videos from the Olympic weightlifters as they put weights on their chest and they're laying like they're just relaxing. Stretching is about relaxing, but in some certain movements it is not that possible. Not for me. And moving to the next exercise, this is one of my favorite ones because it involves more one side than another, so you can feel these imbalances, and also you are performing more unilateral movement, so you're working here also on the stabilization on one leg. So one leg is working, another is being stretched. We can also, as this is our leg, we can also try to move our feet to the tibia, so also the calf is more stretched. Train both legs in all of the stretches. To this exercise we will need the resistance band, which we will put on the part as our tibia is being connected with the bones of our feet. The resistance band will cause some space between the bones, so you will be able to shift your knee more forward. As you can see here on this video, you can also use it on the box while laying forward. You are also stretching your hip here. To make this exercise better, you can also use the resistance band. This will only improve this exercise. And if your muscles on the back side of your body are still tight, for example hamstrings, calves, also the lower back muscles, try this exercise also with a rubber band. You can put it above the knee or under the knee. Try both variations for your stretching routine and let me know what do you think and what difference do you feel after putting the band in different places. This is also a very good stretch if you are before the deadlift session, because if you have problem with rounded back or for example butt wing, mostly, not often, the butt wing is caused by the hamstring, which are just pulling this pelvis so it rotates. If you have problems with this, try this exercise. And here you can see another example of the quad, of the front part of your body stretch. If you are able, put your hands above your head, so you're also improving this range of motion in your shoulders. You are causing this external rotation of the shoulders, which will be then very useful for the bar catch here as you hold the bar during the squat. It is also a very good stretch. I would recommend it for anybody that is sitting a lot throughout the day, because the hip flexors are very tight and they may cause that your position in the squat may not be as vertical as you want and you will lean forward. That may be a cause because of your tight hip flexors. And here's another great stretch using the kettlebell, because here we are using our rounded back to come back to the proper natural spine curvature. We are using here the muscles of our trunk to come back to this position, and also by using the kettlebell, which is pulling us downwards, we can make our squat deeper. Try to shift a little of the weight more to the forward, so you can feel also the stretch on the ankles, and as the kettlebell pulls you downwards, you'll feel the tension in your spine because it is stretching, and then we come back to the compressed position of our spine, which is needed in the squat, because during the squat the barbell is exerting the force, the weight force downwards on our spine, so it is compressing the space between the parts of our spine. And another probably also very popular exercise that you might be doing or not doing is the shoulder displacement. Firstly, we're warming up our shoulders. Secondly, we are opening our chest. Thirdly, we're causing the external rotation, which will be needed, for example, if you have problem with gripping the bar in the lower squat, because the lower the bar is on your back, the more external rotation and the more chest mobility you should have. And the exercise, which is in my opinion pretty similar to this one with the kettlebell, to the second position in this exercise with the kettlebell, because here we're working on our straight vertical position with the bar on our back, and here we want to focus also on this rotational movement, so we want to incorporate the strength of our core to actually stabilize here. And because of the fact that we are in the bottom position, we are making our squat deeper, and by pressing, by pushing the barbell over our head, so to the position of the overhead squat, which is one of the hardest squats, we are causing our whole trunk to stabilize the position, so we are not only in this bottom position trying to increase the range of motion, we are also trying to activate the body parts which are responsible for the stabilization of our body during squat. And here's another example of the hip opener, which I really like. The same rule as in the other hip openers, the angle between the femur and the tibia should be about 90 degrees for the best stretching result. Here, during this motion, I didn't show you this one, but try to a little rotate your upper body for a couple of seconds, both sides during this movement. Try to lay forward, try to push yourself to the back, try to lean so forward that you won't lay your chest on the ground. Always perform it with the straight upper body. Don't round your spine, try to perform it with tight core. And the best stretch for all the muscles in the front of our body is just a regular bridge. If you cannot perform a simple bridge at any state of advance, if you are not a person that is training on the gym, that is training anything, you are just a regular person sitting here and watching me, and if you cannot do bridge, you should focus on the mobility drills because you are probably a very tight person. And as the overall release movement, I would recommend you to roll your underside of the feet because it will release the muscles, the whole back muscles that are going from feet to your neck. Really, it may sound stupid, but it actually works amazing because all of the attachments, they are starting here at the bottom of your feet and they are going straightly up to the neck, under all the muscles, through all of the muscles, through the calves, hamstrings, lower back, through all of the muscles of our back, of our legs. It all starts in the fundaments, so in the feet. Try to roll it with the kettlebell, lacrosse ball, tennis ball, anything that is pretty hard. You can even use a barbell for this purpose. So by rolling certain parts of your body, you're not just releasing them, they are not more stretched by just rolling them. By rolling, you send the message to your brain that something is being made with your muscles, so they're becoming more susceptible for stretching them. It is easier because it is like you're getting a message that someone will be calling you, so you prepare your house because you will have the guests. So the same is with your muscle. It prepares to be stretched, so it is more so it becomes more susceptible to stretch, and it gets easier then to not change its length because it does not change its length. It just becomes more elastic. That's what it does. That's all for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this, please subscribe, maybe leave a like, leave a comment if you learned something new. If you have some ideas or maybe I am wrong with something, tell me down this in the comments, and see you soon. The next video will be about buttwing, so stay tuned.